Order. We now come to the 10-minute rule motion. Greg Smith.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that leave be given to bring in a bill to require persons selling second-hand tools online to show the serial numbers of those tools in searchable advertisement text and for connected purposes. Tool theft, Madam Deputy Speaker, is at a crisis point in this country. More than half of builders in the United Kingdom have fallen foul of tool theft. A survey of tradespeople by opinion last year found roofers had been the worst hit group, with 65% saying tools had been stolen. This was followed by electricians at 58%, plumbers 55%, and carpenters 54%. And tool theft isn't just happening in one or two areas, it is blighting businesses up and down the country. Pick up a local paper and there is a good chance you will find a story about tool theft in there. And the impact can be devastating, with builders having to beg and borrow whatever is available to get by. It is not only the inconvenience and the cost of having to buy new tools, but tradespeople are missing out on work if they do not have the correct equipment to complete a job. And when asked how many working days builders had lost to tool theft over the past 10 years, 1 in 3 builders said 1 to 2 working days lost, 16% said 2 to 5 working days, and 7% said they had lost 5 working days or more. Despicable as it is, criminals have no misgivings about preventing others from going about their work and providing for their families. These tools mean the world to their owners, and thieves have no idea of their true value. Indeed, workers often start out with cheaper tools and buy better ones over time as their businesses grow. They are a sign of the pride people take in their work. Research from Direct Line for Business shows that more than £83 million worth of tools have been stolen across England and Wales in the last 3 years. That equates to £83,500 worth of equipment going missing every single day. And data from the Federation of Master Builders reveals 38% of these incidents involve theft from vans. Indeed, a tradesperson's van is broken into, on average, every 20 minutes. A further 34% of thefts are from building sites, 7% from a shed or garage at home, and 3% from inside the home. And it goes without saying that tools aren't cheap. The average value of a reported stolen item is £385, with the most common value of overall loss standing at £2,500 in a single theft. 1 in 10 builders say they have had at least £10,000 worth of tools stolen, and 2% said they had at least £20,000 taken from them. It goes without saying that an incident of theft significantly sets a business's finances back. Let me give the example, Madam Deputy Speaker, of my constituent, Barry Phipps. Barry has been a builder for 38 years. For the past 15 years, Barry and his wife have run their Princes Risborough-based building company, BEP Contracting Limited. BEP have been responsible for thousands of building projects locally, but Barry, like far too many builders, has been the victim of 3 separate tool crimes, with burglaries from his home, his storage yard and his vehicle. Barry has lost in excess of £40,000 worth of tools, tools that are vital to his ability to earn a living, to support his family, his ability to provide local employment and purchase goods and services in the area. And because of the second-hand market for stolen goods, Barry has seen far too often tools that cost more than £500 new being offered for sale for as little as a tenner. Tool belts full of a builder's collection, some built up over many years, passed from craftsman to apprentice, sold underground for the price of a packet of cigarettes. Barry tells me that because of the prevalence of this type of criminality, van insurance companies are now charging premiums comparable to that for a new driver, forcing many young builders and tradesmen no option but to have no financial protection from theft of tools from their vehicle. and Barry has yet to be reunited with any of his stolen tools over the years. Indeed, just 3% of tools are ever returned to their owners. And because there's often a sad assumption that it will be a waste of time, these sort of crimes and van break-ins, I fear, are too often underreported. Tool theft is also taking its toll on builders' mental health. The Federation of Master Builders tell me that tool theft has led to 15% of builders suffering from anxiety, 1 in 10 builders suffering from depression, and some report experiences of panic attacks and, very sadly, even suicidal thoughts. Now, Madam Deputy Speaker, during my time in this House, this has been a particularly impactful issue for residents of the town of Buckingham in my constituency, with thieves targeting parked vans in the area. My constituents want to see action taken to combat this criminality, and they are not alone. 84% of tradespeople don't believe enough is being done to prevent tool theft. Beyond the usual arguments of more bobbies on the beat that I'm delighted this government is already providing, and things like CCTV, the challenge for all of us in this House to ask ourselves is what practical measures can be put in place to prevent this from happening in the first place. And from my past involvement in community safety and crime prevention, I do understand there are many ways to stop or deter crime without placing further pressure on our police. Indeed, following a spate of these tool thefts in the town of Buckingham last year, talk of how to tackle this problem was alive on a local community Facebook forum. And it was among the comments on that discussion that the idea behind this bill was formed. We know that those stealing tools do not do so to complete a DIY project at home, to put up some shelves or redo the kitchen. Tools are stolen in order to be sold, to be monetised. And most stolen tools end up for sale online. As criminals become more sophisticated, and with meagre regulations and little scrutiny of third-party sellers, they find online platforms to be efficient channels to sell stolen items and monetise their crimes. Online marketplaces often display thousands of tools for sale, with no address, no serial numbers, providing anonymity, a shield, allowing criminals to hide in plain sight. To tackle this, I am bringing forward this proposal that online marketplaces should require individuals selling second-hand tools to show, in a searchable format, the serial numbers, the unique identifiers of all such items. The use of serial numbers would close down ways for people to turn their stolen goods into money, and it would facilitate victims, the police, insurance companies' ability to track down stolen items. A better and more comprehensive tracker is what's needed, coupled with a database from which information on these serial numbers can be sourced. This would help the police in terms of responding quickly and would have the effect of introducing traceability. There could even be technological procedures in place where these online platforms are being continuously searched against a database for reported stolen items. Of course, Madam Deputy Speaker, I'm not suggesting this is some sort of magic bullet that will solve tool theft overnight. And clearly it's not the case that all stolen tools are sold on the internet, but many are. And every opportunity to monetise these ill-gotten gains shut down will help stop these crimes for good. And so I believe the relatively simple measures in this bill could encourage people to also come forward and to report this type of crime. A tradesperson themselves could search the sites, find their stolen goods. And so, Madam Deputy Speaker, I submit this bill, a practical way, removing some of the incentive for committing the crimes in the first place. And I fear that there is a perception that commercial crime, such as stealing from tradespeople or businesses, is less injurious to the victim than, say, a home burglary. But that is not the case. The reality is that these crimes, these thieves are depriving honest people of a means to work. So putting this measure in place will go a long way to combating tool theft, protecting lives and livelihoods of millions of tradespeople. Madam Deputy Speaker, let us take this step, a much-needed step, to play its part in the overall mission of stamping out tool theft once and for all.
The question is that the honourable member have leave to bring in the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary, no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Who will prepare and bring in the bill?
Paul Bristow, Nick Fletcher, Andrew Griffith, Jane Hunt, Dean Russell, Jim Shannon, Alexander Stafford, and myself, Madam Deputy Speaker.
Greg Smith.
Tool Theft Prevention Bill.
Second reading what day?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Thank you.